Hail, Thrand here.
Hail, this is ThegnThrand.
And we're here with a very special promotion from Medieval Shop. I was talking to Jarl Tim, and he said throughout the years, I guess it's been over 3 years now, we've been testing stuff for Medieval Shop. We've had a lot of viewers that have been buying products from him and buying his swords and his blades specifically.
Well, and he's also been getting rave reviews, not just from us, but from his customers as well.
Oh, yes, from people who are actually watching our site. They're seeing us test it, then they're ordering, and they're giving him reviews.
Right.
And stuff. So since that kind of response, and everybody's so happy, and he's doing really well.
And it's sort of a show of appreciation to his customers.
Right. The way to show appreciation, what he's done is he's got a deal. If you go through us, like you actually tell him the special code THRAND, I send him a message. If you buy 2 blades, you can get a 3rd blade of lesser value for free. He will include that in the package.
Right, and all you have to do is, when you go through the ordering process, after you go to your, I guess, your shopping cart, you can specifically tell him there
if he has it in stock, he will include it for free, pretty much.
Yeah.
And out to the U.S., although he is in Australia, it's medievalshop.com.au, which is Australia.
Right.
He will be shipping it from there. You will get it in less than a week.
That's right. And I think the shipping he agreed to would be...
It would not be over $50.
For shipments to America.
And that's 2 full-size swords, and the extra one will not be over $50.
Right. Now this applies to all blades, like swords and daggers.
Even the Claymore? That's what I was going to say.
Claymore.
One of my recommendations is the Claymore. This thing, it performed beautifully, and every test we did with it, it even hit plate armor, which stopped it abruptly, and it didn't damage it in any way.
It's a gorgeous
sword. Yeah.
Gorgeous Claymore. Functions really well.
I've always been partial to 2-handed weapons, especially like, I don't know, we want to consider an oversized long sword, like early great sword, 2-handed sword.
It's a gorgeous looking blade.
It performed the best of anything I did with that type of weapon.
And a good value for a great sword. So that's what, your number one recommendation?
That would be my number one recommendation. The second sword, I would probably go with this. That's just me. I'm saying I already own it. But the Viking sword, that's a late century Viking sword. This sword is a lot like the old Wolfberts, especially in design and everything. It doesn't have the etching on it, but this sword has cut through steel.
It's been through a lot, man.
And the edge is still in fine shape. I've cut through actual 20-gauge steel with it.
None of the fittings have loosened up on it either.
Yeah, it's in perfect shape.
He's cut through 19-gauge steel, and nothing has loosened up. It's not. None of the riggings have gotten loose. None of the fittings. It's wonderful.
No, it's still razor sharp. And my third recommendation, this would be what I would ask him, because you can use any blade. So it could be the sax. It can be a dagger. If you like our what is it,
the Damascus Edinburgh Castle one, that's one.
Oh yes, that's the one I was trying to say. You could even request that if it's cheaper than the other two blades. But this one would be the cheapest of the 3, and this would be something like what I would do is I would send him a message and tell him the code THRAND, that I'm doing this from Thrand's channel, and that Thrand said that you would include the blade for free, and he will include it. Just send him a special message and use that code, and he will include it for free.
And that would be your recommendations of the ones that we already own.
This is just the sax. It's a broken back sax. It could be almost any culture, but it looks very Viking the way it's done.
Right.
It's really ornate with the fittings. I know that's not totally period in some aspects, but it's still beautiful. It performs so well.
Well, we're talking about the recommendations we'd make for taking advantage of this promotion from Medieval Shop. And my 3 personal recommendation based on swords that I already own from Medieval Shop, my number 1 would have to be the 13th century hand and a half, or the 13th century bastard sword.
It performed exactly. I mean, it performed side by side.
It's side by, yeah, absolutely. And these two are just 2 of a kind.
Yeah.
No loose fittings. Comes
full
with a great
tang.
Full tang. Comes with a great
no problems with the pommels loosening.
Not at all. And it hits like a ton of bricks. I swear, that few extra ounces in the blade. You feel it, and the difference in the point of balance.
They're almost the same weight, but the balance is different.
The balance is very different, and so you really feel that tip-heavy shot. It's really a fun sword for functional sword use. I love it, and I like sets. I'm one of those people that enjoys a good set. So my second recommendation, if you want a short sword, it would be this little...
Medieval
short sword.
And it very much looks like a 13th century sword with this style pommel in it.
Right. Now this one is yet to be tested.
It could be later century though as well.
It could be. Now this one is yet to be tested. It's going to be coming up soon, but I can already tell by the way it's constructed that it's made very similar to its big brother. So I think if
and it's
you're
also
going
very
for,
similar to the Damascus blade we just tested.
That's
in some
right.
ways, but a little bit heavier.
a little heavier and just a hair longer. But I'm really eager to test this one soon. But I think it's a great complement to your medieval sword sets,
The 13th century,
especially the 13th century set. So I would highly recommend this one to kind of go as a partner to that. And then this is probably one of my. This one's near and dear to my heart. The briquet, and I say that and everybody laughs, you know.
One of the myths is they made fun of it, saying that it was similar to the fire starting tool because it had this and no blade.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, it's just a shorter blade than the cavalry.
Right.
So they kind of made fun of it because it was the footman's version.
And despite that, despite people poking fun at this blade, and I'm not much into French history myself, I have to say that I was so surprised by this little saber that I've given it a nickname, calling it the little saber that could.
Oh, most certainly it did very well. Way better than expected.
This is such a little beauty, and I tell you, for the price and everything, it performs so well.
I'm not sure which is cheaper, the short sword or the saber.
Well, it doesn't really matter, but
one of them you could ask to request if this was something we're recommending as the free extra.
These are just our top recommendations from things we've tested, things we've owned and laid claim to during our adventures here on our channel at ThegnThrand. And we really owe a lot to Medieval Shop for helping get us off the ground.
Everything's performed well. It's just our recommendations and our favorites.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, Medieval Shop really has helped us get off the ground, and they want to offer you guys this really special promotion. And of course,
appreciation.
Yeah, now we also have our own personal wish list of things we don't even own off the site yet, and if we had the ability to order them ourselves, we have some things we've been looking at with this new promotion. What would you wish to get if you got 3 swords?
The 13th century riding sword has a very interesting pommel, which you've seen a lot of the artwork around that time period, and according to Roland Warzeka, that he's done some testing with it, he believes it was a predecessor to the actual long sword, because you could actually grip the actual pommel. I'd love to test that out, so I'd love to have that sword. And it looks like it's the same quality of, let's say, the late century Viking sword.
I've seen that riding sword. I like the pommel on that a whole lot. I also really love the way the blade looks. I mean, it's just a handsome looking sword.
It's going to be slightly heavy, but I think you can use it two-handed, and I think it'll be interesting to see how that works without the extended grip, but the actual holding onto the pommel.
But it's a beautiful sword.
Like a
just
pistol style grip like he demonstrated. Also, the Hillside Forge Type 2 Damascus Viking sword. I love the way it looks. That's basically, we've tested the Damascus blades. We know what they're like. We know how they
We tested the Type 1 Damascus.
Right, and I tested, it was one like there's a Type S, I believe, is the
Oh, okay.
Type S,
yeah,
but it still performed extremely well. But I'd like to try that one out. I would just like the way it looks. I'm partial to the way the blades look.
I think it's a gorgeous look. I kind of like the pommel on that one a little better.
And after playing with lighter blades, like the I shouldn't say lighter, but like the Scottish back sword, the basket hilted sword, was a back sword, and the actual cavalry saber. I'm actually getting into the lighter blades and stuff like the briquet, the cutlass style. I would be interested in U.S. Navy cutlass.
Yeah, that would really like to try out. That's a good choice.
So I believe the cutlass would be the more affordable blade. I shouldn't say cheap. Nothing he makes is cheap.
Really cheap, but the more affordable.
Yeah, that's the one I would order the other two, and then recommend him send that one as the extra special gift by using the code THRAND.
And that's a handsome one too. The cutlass. That's a handsome blade.
Oh,
beautiful.
And I'm pretty sure that this will work with reenactment blades, functional blades, sharp blades, decorative blades, daggers, any type of blade.
We're just recommending
swords, short swords.
These are just our wish list. These are just our wish list items that because we like functional swords. Those are the ones that we like the most. But yes, he's right. You can make this apply to the reenactment blades and the decorative ones as well. Now, for my wish list, I got to start with the. I'm really partial to U.S. history, and especially more recent U.S. history, like the Old West and the early 20th century. And my favorite, I think, would be the M1913 U.S. Cavalry Saber.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I love how it looks. And they call it the Patton, in quotation marks, the Patton.
Yeah, the only sad thing about it didn't get a lot of use due to the advancement in firearms and artillery and stuff, so you didn't really get a chance to do cavalry charges. Like
it looks to me like
but it was made to be the best of its day.
If
they was going to be used, it was the best of their ability. They thought they had made the perfect blade.
So I think that's a very cool blade. Looks really functional. Looks awesome. So streamlined. It's so sexy looking.
Yeah,
great looking blade.
I've seen it on the side. It's beautiful.
Right. So, I mean, I think that'd be a nice little competition on our wish list if we could put that one up against the Cutlass.
Oh, certainly.
That'd be very cool.
Yeah.
Another one on my list would be the classic medieval sword, the classical medieval sword. Again, I have my reasons for that. Not only is it a really fine-looking blade, but it would complete
your set.
It would complete my
the
set.
arming sword version, pretty much, not the hand and a half version.
Yeah,
which should be a little more wieldy, not using it two-handed or.
Rather not get worn out having to swing.
So
that
you'd
extra.
have all three blades technically.
Yeah, that's why it goes on my wish
short
list.
sword or a very large dagger. You'd have your hand and a half. And
right.
One-handed version.
Now, for my value blade, that third blade, I think I love that he sent us that reenactment sword, the River Shelf.
Yeah, you'd like to get a reenactment version of that one. I know he has the sharp version up, but I'm not sure. You'd have to ask him if he has the reenactment version.
Well, if he had that, that would be my third pick. And now again,
and it performed very well. I mean, it didn't even get damaged to anything. We've hit all kinds of stuff with it. We barely even damaged the blade, that EN45 steel.
That's true.
It works great.
I would love to have another one so we can get some gambesons later, and Thrand and I could throw some shots.
Do some HEMA style stuff.
Yeah, it'd be a whole
quite
lot
heavy
of fun.
blades, so they're very period. I mean, they're blade heavy.
Oh, definitely.
But we definitely could use some control and have some fun.
Maybe do some stuff with our round shields and have a good time.
Right.
And everyone's been wanting to see that. So again, if I were making that order,
that would be
my
your
wish
free
list,
blade that you would put on there with the.
Well, yes, please send me that.
Mention Thrand, the code Thrand, and say that you viewed it on the site, and that he said he would throw it in. And that's what he's going to do. You don't have to order it and get it rung up in the cart, so to speak. You just buy the two blades. Make sure the other one's a cheaper, more affordable blade. I don't think anything's cheap from that, like I said. And he will include that by putting in notations as long as it's in stock. If it's not in stock, I'm sure they'll probably message you back and ask you if there's something else you'd want.
Yeah.
Because it's possible he runs out. If he does,
true.
he removes it from the catalog.
Yeah. I got to say, being with Medieval Shop all these years has really helped advance our channel. And we just have to say it again. Thank you so much, Earl Tim, for helping out our channel and helping us get as far as we've gotten. We're almost to 20,000 subs. We're making a very fast push.
Suggest us to other people. We want more subscribers. We want to hit the 20K. We're excited. We
want to hit these fine blades and even kind of be wowed by them ourselves. Sometimes we go into this like with this little briquet. We go into it with so
lower expectations. I hate to say it. We know it's a high quality blade and it's sharp, but then we go, but it doesn't have a lot of mass to it, and the balance. We don't expect it, and then all of a sudden it surprises.
Lambo, it just
and I've also heard the history behind it, so I knew it wasn't the most famous combat blade. It was used, but I mean it wasn't, like it.
You don't hear great tales or deeds, but this little baby.
I think it could perform them. Yeah.
This is a testament to Medieval Shop's product line
and quality.
All the way across the board. So you get something like this from them, and you're able to be wowed by it, enjoy yourself, and go out and roll cameras every day and have a great time.
This surprised me that it actually performed. I mean, not total. I mean, because we all know the legends of Clay.
Well, I'm sorry, the views
actually
on that.
Going through from one skull into another head and possibly killing the other man. I mean, through the skull, not the neck. I mean, the decaps were nothing.
Well, I say that the tail of the tape is
two heads, two necks. It could have put through three. I'm sure.
I think the tail of the tape was in the number of the views that we have across all the videos of the Claymore.
They love the Claymore.
That is one that I think everybody thinks is a great blade, and we thank all of you out there for subscribing. Continue to support us here at ThegnThrand. So be sure to subscribe down below. Go check out Medieval Shop. Jump on board with that deal, and leave your comments down below about your favorite blades on their website and what you wish
you would pick, whether you order or not. Let us know what you'd be interested in. That would be
cool. That's
right.
Yeah.
See y'all's comments down below so we know, because it's interesting.
Yeah, sure.
And let us know if you decide to order from them and take advantage of the deal. Give us a comment. Let us know.
Yeah, put your pictures on our private Facebook page. We have a closed group, ThegnThrand YouTube Boat Crew. Ask to join. We'll let you in. Put your pictures of your Medieval Shop weapons and up there, and let us know what you got off this promo. We'd love to see what you guys buy.
And go by Thrand and Eldrum as well, of Remembrance. That's all on Facebook as well, and you can like us. So it's a like page. But when we put new stuff out, a lot of times we will share it there. So instantly, if you're on Facebook and you're not on YouTube, you will still get the message. We have a new video out, or new information, or something cool we found that we want to share with everybody about history. I mean, it's not all Viking. We do a lot of Viking stuff and Viking age history, but it's from all time periods.
So we put a lot of great stuff out on that. Yeah. And, of course, as always, you can donate to us at www.patreon.com/Thrand. Also, we have our Yahoo account for PayPal. That's excuse me. It's ThegnThrand at yahoo.com. There was a www, I'm sure, in front of all. But
But www.ThegnThrand@yahoo.com, and that's also the ThegnThrand@yahoo.com is the PayPal ID. So you can do a one-time donation there. You can also send us emails or messages if you're wanting to donate to us in some kind of way, like send us items to test. If you're a blacksmith and you make things, you want to create something for us, what have you.
And actually, we have quite a list of folks that have been sending us messages and offering to do that. We need to get some measurements out too, so we can be looking forward to some new suits of armor coming in a while. And these guys tailor make these suits for us, so it's very cool.
Certainly.
So we got lots of stuff in store for you in the future, and obviously more from Medieval Shop in the future. So be on the lookout for all of that new content. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. Farewell.
Farewell.